I'm Tonya Khoury. This is this week's Acumen Media Report. Zuma, the not leader, and a coalition collision. Is your jaw on the floor? Zuma must fall? Huh?
Zuma must fall, Zuma must fall, Zuma must fall, Zuma must fall, Zuma.
How did we get here, my South Africa? 50% of the ballots have been counted, and we have a new kid on the block. To be fair, it's not such a new kid. And to be really fair, it's not a kid at all. Zuma, the not leader, put his face on a ballot and went home, put on his slippers, and watched the chaos unfold. I'm Tonya Khoury, and I have an election data hangover. Join me as I krap to see what's under the smelly surface. MK landslide, not leader Zuma. Let's roll back to your voting experience. I still have the mark on my thumb. Mom qualified for a special vote, and we had the honour of having two IEC representatives park off on our sofa, open up the bags, envelopes, and bring out that marker pen. We put our crosses on a very busy set of ballots. It was a historic moment for me to take a pic of my goose's thumb and mine side by side. We'd been through a hard time, and it felt good that we'd made it up to this very steep hill, and the view was so much better. I voted for hope with Rise Mzansi nationally, and even though it doesn't look like they shot the lights out, I know I voted for good people and really for new leaders. My votes are not a secret, so you know where I stand politically. So my cross next to the IFP should surprise no one. I live in KZN, I live on Royal Zulu land, I work with the IFP on a regular basis. They aren't perfect, but they do work. I was sure my town was on the same side. But walking to the beach and mulling over the dunes, the message, MK Party, was resoundingly clear. Not leader Zuma. So how was it? How was your voting experience? Many cried foul as voting stations were closed and didn't start or didn't finish on time. Some of the pictures of snaking queues were reminiscent of 1994, except we had no Mandela. There were incidents of violence, but overall it was a good election. My best was watching ex-ANC people, now MK, finding rigged ballots courtesy of their former cadres. Seems the ANC forgot that MK goons are actually ex-ANC goons, and they were part of the election rigging that happened in 2019. They've caught their former comrades in the act. I take my hat off to that. The MK kept the elections fair, and if you think about it, the ANC did self-correct. Poetic justice, but don't trust. The data said it, but I ignored it. I thought a battalion of bots were magnifying MK Party on my charts. Blame the statistician, I'll take a knock on the chin for that, and won't ignore the machine ever again. And here we are with a not leader. Zuma the Puma literally walked in, messed things up, and left. There are stronger words, but this report is shared with the media. To be clear, though, Zuma is not a member, let alone the leader, of MK. He's a card-carrying member of the ANC.
Do you still believe you're a member of the ANC?
I am a member of the ANC.
But Balula says you have expelled yourself, the Secretary General.
No, they were saying so when they were still excited. I'm supposed to go, I was supposed to go there to discuss with them this thing for myself, to defend myself.
Watched a one-on-one interview with Ubaba that was held at Nkandla. Where he spun and spun and spun stories as he strolled around his homestead. He said that if you are happy with the president, then there should be no limit to the number of years you serve, and that a 5-year term thing is just nonsense. Deep breath, dear listener.
Firstly, I knew in terms of certain types of democracies, presidents have time. In other democracies, there is no time. As long as the people say he's doing very well, it continues, and there's no... that's why I always say there are democracies and democracies.
He also said that he wasn't in MK actually, he was something.
Because you don't understand what is called a political something.
This is quoted from the horse's mouth. I don't make this stuff up. When pressed, he admitted that he had Jabulani Khumalo and others come to his house in Kaandla and said that he had insisted that Khumalo registers the party because he obviously couldn't do it himself because of being ANC for life or some rubbish like that. So here on the television interview, he tells us that Concourt, the highest court in the land, was outrageous even to expect him to come to court, and that the State Capture Commission was misplaced. In one interview, in this one-on-one interview, he admitted to plotting a new party that would lead to the downfall of the party he currently carries a card for. He admitted he is not the leader of MK, yet his face is on the ballot, and he told us our justice system is optional. Yet here we are, with a new opposition and a new set of leadership in KZN. Election destruction. Here's some sobering thoughts for your election hangover. Who will run MK party? It's not going to be Khumalo. He was duped. Duduzile, she scares me plenty. And where is Duduzane? Like, he started his own party and then didn't. Is that right? Is he our new KZN premier in waiting? This party is only 4 months old and has managed to slaughter the ANC in KZN and make a massive dent nationally. Spare a second of silence for Khaki Carl Niehaus. He must be gutted that Ubaba didn't bring him into the fold. He danced a puppet dance his entire life for you, Jacob, and nothing. There's one person who's in big trouble, and that is Duma. Sibonisi Duma, the provincial chair of KZN. Duma is just Zuma dumbed down. Oh, I'm being cruel. But I only repeat what is said in the media spaces. I read the news so that you don't have to. The opposition were fuming about MK. Helen called it tribalism.
They've taken a big chunk from the ANC, and of course they've also taken some of our votes. Now, that represents a kind of ethnic identity vote, if I can put it that way, and that should worry every single South African, because if South Africa disintegrates into a whole range of ethnic identity votes, it's going to be very, very difficult to build a coherent government. I think our coalitions in future will be totally ungovernable in that sense, and it means that people won't be voting on what parties offer, and they certainly won't be voting on a track record in governance. They will be voting for people who they can identify with personally.
Oh, really? What do you mean, Godzilla? Do you mean people in Zululand might want to vote for a Zulu person? That's just madness. If you knew that, why did you put a gay white man there instead? I love Chris Pappas. He's the only DA member I like. But surely the best place for a leader that is gay, can dance, and is white, it belongs in, I don't know, the gay capital of South Africa, Cape Town? Read the room, Helen. What about Gayton and the PA? See what happens? Wow. See what happens when you use missing children to fuel your campaign? Where is Jocelyn, Gayton? You couldn't care less, could you, Gayton? You got your name on the scoreboard. You have to ask yourself about the same issue I raised in last week's report. Who will be in the coalitions? It's going to be a coalition collision. Will the EFF marry up with MK? I mean, Juju does love Ubaba. He loves him so much. Will the EFF go back to the ANC? Or for that matter, will EFF and MK join up? And then maybe they'll join up with the ANC to give them the majority again. According to Duduzile, Jacob Zuma's daughter, there is no chance of a coalition between ANC and MK. Word on the street is that the EFF will join the ANC. Ramatras will be recalled and Mashatile will be president. Did I mention to you who's likely to be deputy? I did, and we both laughed it off. Juju, guys. The one and only CIC himself. Malema may be our deputy president. How did this happen? Please, can the social media streets be wrong? An ANC-EFF coalition with those two leaders, sheesh, put me under the water already. Right, so that's a wrap for elections for now. We'll be watching the blue boards with numbers for a few days. Perhaps we'll understand the state of our country on Monday. In other news, there was nothing to report. BHP Billiton pulled out of the Anglo-American takeover. Senzo trial was postponed. And one of our own made, Britain's Got Talent. Innocent Masuku can sing like a dream, and he's through to the final. Across the world, there's really only one dominant story. 30 million people shared the same AI-generated image, all eyes on Rafah. This week, after the ICJ ruling, Netanyahu bombed refugees in tents while they were sleeping. The tents went up in flames, melting and clinging to the bodies of Palestinians. This time, we actually did see babies beheaded. I couldn't watch. I couldn't look away. When challenged on the massacre, Bibi said it was a terrible mistake.
Waited about 1 million non-combatants residents, and despite our utmost effort not to harm non-combatants, something unfortunately went tragically wrong. We are investigating the incident and will reach conclusions because this is our policy.
Then he did it again the next day. At the same time, 2 Egyptian soldiers were killed by the IDF. They've kept that story deeply buried, just like those soldiers' bodies. The Turks set fire to the Israeli embassy in Istanbul, and Nikki Haley, American politician and diplomat, wrote, "Finish them," on an IDF shell that is set for Gaza. The irony here. Do you know Haley is the first Indian American to serve in the US cabinet? You are disgusting, Haley. Both you and Biden should take a long walk off a short pier and take that convicted felon, Trump, with you. Do us all a favor. Did you not see 100,000 people protest in New York? Did you miss the campuses in your universities? How greedy are you actually, America? It seems the world is your playground now that you've given the go-ahead for Ukraine to use US-made weapons inside Russian territory. Manufacturing World War III. That's it. I'm out. I'm savoring the electricity we have before the lights go off. I also have an extraordinary potato bass waiting for me in crystal clear warm waters in my little part of paradise that may soon be known as MK territory. I leave you with hope from Imtiaz Suleiman. We need 4 principles to fix this country. We don't need money. We need spirituality, morality, values, and ethics. You fix that, you fix the country. We'll have a surplus of money overflowing because you'll do things in the right way, in an honest way, with integrity. And the moment you do that, in Islam we say, it's barakah. Blessings, bounties, and abundance. It's up to us, South Africa. Who cares who the leaders are? We always knew we had to fix this mess ourselves. We have a magnificent country filled with extraordinary people. Choose hope, fam. Peace out. I'm Tonya Khoury. Thank you for scratching the surface with Acumen Media.